an intermission. Oops, turn them off. A little bit early, so thought I'd treat you to some musical genius. Good evening, James. How do to yourself? Well, you've asked how I do. I haven't said how I am. I'm not doing too bad, dear lads. Got a day off tomorrow, and I got 2 beer deliveries today, so not doing too bad. I hope you're doing well as well, James, and anyone else watching this, whether it be live or upload. And you may see me if Jimmy's doing a live stream tonight. You might see me on there as well. So yeah, I did actually initially organise this, or schedule this, not organise, that's the wrong word. Did schedule this for 8:30, but I'll probably end up going for a smoke with a friend from work, and I'd just get interrupted, so it's just easier me pushing the stream forward. Let's see. Hi, Peter. How fun was that, says Mogo UK. What, are you talking about my wonderful music rendition of the most useless yet satisfying Christmas gift? Or are you talking about my appearances on Jimmy O's podcast recently? But yeah, it was fun. It's always fun. And I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing okay. And massive thank you, by the way, to anyone from Jimmy O'Neill's channel who came over and subscribed. Got me over 700 subscribers, so greatly appreciate it. And once I reach 1,000, I'll just fuck him off, really. Get what I can out of it. I'll throw a PayPal link or a buy me a coffee link or buy me a beer in this case. I'm not a shyster like that, so I won't do that. But yeah, good evening, everyone. So got a couple of beer unboxings. One big one and then one moderately sized one. Let's see. Yes, Jimmy. Appearances have been grand. Yeah, I've been really enjoying it, especially catching up with people who I've never spoke to on like the first time round, especially Martin. And managed to talk to Steve on New Year. And yeah, so look forward to it. I've been really enjoying the conversation people that Jimmy's been having on that stream last night with Mad Dog and that other, I can't remember what the guy's name is, the other councillor, talking about Wigan. But just, God forbid what people have got to say about Scam and the way it's run. But yeah, I agree, James. Yeah, definitely. I know it's got that reputation of like having, you know, the dregs of society on it. Interesting people, don't get me wrong. And they're not dregs, they're interesting people. Everyone who I've come across on that, I've been entertained by. There's some people that people don't like to mention, and for good reason. But yeah, it's what else you gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Television, you know what we're talking about. Paul Maiden is a bit of a start. Yeah, I do like Paul, and I'm glad that them two have reconnected. And I'm interested to see how far that goes. And of course, I wish Paul the speediest of potential recoveries, or you know, the best health he could possibly get, and of course Simon as well. So I was just actually, because I'm going to be cracking open the beer in a minute, getting my glass from my other order, and yeah, I've had about 4 of these cloud water glasses, but I don't know, I just love that shape, and yeah, thought I'd get another one. So we'll put that to the side. So the first order, it's only a small one, really, is from Left-Handed Giant. Oh, that's a bit offensive. Let's turn it round. Oh, yeah, Left-Handed Giant. intelligent humour from myself. So yeah, I've not had anything from LHG for a while, so I thought I'd do a cheeky little order. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done the annoying thing of picking an odd number to do. Should have stuck with 6 cans. Should have gone to 8 cans. But it is what it is. So first of all, for the Tote Bag Collection, got myself a left-handed giant tote bag. Although I was hoping it was the one with James Yeo's design on it. But yeah, another brewery tote. Nice size, so you can get a few cans in there. I'll actually be meeting up with Rob on the 22nd in Manchester. So we're going to hit up Track and record a few videos. And yeah, so new tote bag, always good. Do love good tote. Most interesting glasses I've come across are cider glasses. What sort of shape are they? I do like good glasses. There's just something about them. Some of them are like really poncy, but I kind of like ponce. I do ponce really well, as some people know. So let's see, which is the one that I actually want to open. Well, I've got 2 of them. So we've got Woodland Creatures, pistachio and honeycomb stout, 6.9%, left-handed giant, and of course, left-handed giant, brewed in collaboration with Hetucci. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Don't miss out on the pies and Track, definitely. And there's a certain person who works at Track who, but we won't get into that sort of discussion because the industry is problematic as it is. Doesn't need my perverted stance. I think James knows exactly who or what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I remember having this the first time and just being blown away by it. Don't think I've had any of the rebrews. I might have had one of the rebrews of this, and I never got to try the Imperial version. But this in can, first time around, was gorgeous. Had it on, he knows, James knows. And also had it on cask in Sheffield when I was also with Rob celebrating his birthday and a few other guys. But yeah, so looking forward to this. Obviously, it's been such a long time since I've actually drank it. I'm not sure how it's going to compare to the original recipe. But the fact that, you know, they've done that thing where they've kept Hutecha on there. And because a lot of these collaboration beers, after the main collaboration, the same brewery will brew it again. But of course, they'll just brew it themselves. So we'll see. Like an extended brandy glass, some of them. I like my old malt glass. See, I'm not a big cider drinker, but I do like, and I know that's how it's pronounced, old malt, but their flavours are nice. I mean, I used to love, not had it for ages. I'll have to pick some up sometime, but Copperberg mixed berries, that used to be a regular sort of drink for me before I, you know, discovered like real ale and craft beer and stuff. But yeah, I'll have to look into that because I'm always looking for new glasses, even though I don't need any, and I want to get. There's like specific styles that I need to stop buying, but I always seem to buy. But yeah, it's just nice to have like a cabinet of glasses, do you know, or a cupboard of glasses. But anyway, so we'll quickly get into the beer. Oh, it smells lovely. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really good. Is it what I remember it being? I don't know, but oh, lovely finish on it. So I got a second can of this, so expect a review at some point or a re-review. That'll be one of those situations where I will have to look at my old review, cringe my way through it, and then see what I can do comparing notes. So I picked up that. There's another one that I picked up 2 cans for because I'm saving one for someone. Got Bristol Gold from the Left-Handed Giant Brew Pub, which is a fest beer. I'm really enjoying the brew pub stuff. The stuff I've had has been really nice. Was it a dark mild or the bitter that I've had? I've had both. The dark mild was good. I really enjoyed the dark mild. And massive shout out to the Russian bots. listen, I might look like Boris Johnson, but you're getting no political secrets from me. These are actually really quite chilled down, obviously in transport and stuff. But yeah, Bristol Gold from Left Hand and Giant Brew Pub. Really looking forward to trying that. I do like a good fest beer. When I saw Bristol Gold, I thought, oh, that's like bitter, or like an attempt, like a modern attempt at a golden ale. But then I obviously read the description and was like, fest beer? That sounds fantastic. So we've got that. I think, is this the one I've got 2 cans of? Yeah, so I've got 2 cans of Time Moves Slow. See, now that wasn't me trying to be funny. I legitimately thought, because of like the blue circle and emoticons, plus my eyes are terrible. I should have my other phone here with the comment stream, but yeah, I did not mean to call you a Russian bot. I feel like a proper prick now. But hi, Peter, here from Jimmy O, and that's Caden. Caden, cheers. You still won't get any political secrets from me. Love the artwork of some of these. Yeah, the artwork for this brewery specifically, in fact, so I can show you sort of like a complete version. Oh no, it's not going to work. But yeah, Left Hand Giant have a really good sort of like brand identity, if that's the right word, from an artist called James Yo. Although he's not credited anymore on the artwork itself. But it's James, is it Y-E-O or J-E-O? You can find him on Instagram. Really talented artist. So I picked 2 cans of this up, and this is a hazy IPA, 6.6% ABV. Mosaic Cryo, Zappa T90, and Strata T90. I think it was the hot build. But as I said, pick 2 up, 1 for me and 1 for someone else. Then I picked up a can of The World Was My Idea. No worries, man. Do you drink rum? I used to be a big fan of Captain Morgan's Spiced with Coke, or because my girlfriend at the time, she used to like break out when she'd drink Captain Morgan's, so she went for Oak Heart Dark Spice Rum, and I thought that was lovely as well. And although I don't really touch sort of like mixers or stuff like that, or spirits in general. Over Christmas, I was like proper, like not craving, but I was really in the mood to have some rum and coke, but just didn't pick any up. I might pick myself up a bottle. I want to try that Dead Man's Fingers stuff. That sounds interesting. I love Ray and Nephew Me, White Rum 60. See, right, white rum. You used to drink that, but that was like, pre-drinks before you went out, where you'd have like a bottle of rum each, and then drink. Around Wigan, funny enough. And I think ever since then, I just can't touch white rum. But I'm wanting to actually get back into spirits a little bit more. But yeah, I don't usually, when I'm out drinking, I just stick to the beer, because if I veer off to anything else, excuse me, I become an arsehole drunk when I'm like that, especially stuff like fortified wine. God, it was like towards the end of summer, I had a few people around, and I had a bottle of MD 2020, Mad Dog 2020, the blue one, which is like bubblegum or something, which I picked up in Liverpool when I was out with Harry and Greg and Adam. And I just started because there was a girl who used to work with us who was there, and I was trying to get into her, not gonna lie, and she was making me drink fast. I was thinking, hang on a minute, something could happen here. It didn't, and I just became really obnoxious and really quite sexist. Only after they left, though. I think I was quoted saying that all women are dick teasing cunts, but it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Magnum tonic wine. Oof, yeah, stuff like that just hits me. Although I want to give Buckfast another try. I had like a taste of that when I was at Harry Blue Nose Beer Review's house once, and I was just like, no, can't have any more of this because we've been drinking all day anyway. But yeah, I'd like to get myself just a cheeky little bottle of what's it called? We've just been talking about it. I don't know. I'll just drink Buckfast. Oh man, that's going down proper nice. I've not drank for 2 days because I've been a little bit ill. My brother tested positive for COVID, and I've been testing negative for it, but I felt like shit these past few days. Don't feel too bad now, but yeah, this is going down a proper treat. This is lovely. But yeah, that's that whole little conversation I started from me saying how much I haven't had rum for a while. But tangents, people, we love them. So yeah, this is The World Was My Idea. Hazy double IPA, 8% ABV, which has got Mosaic Cryo, Mosaic T90, and Mosaic Incognito. So a single hop Mosaic double IPA with a beautiful metallic label. And you can get Magnum Tonic £3.99, $3.99 for 200ml bottle. I do like stuff like that. A lot of people I watch on YouTube are part of like that whole like drinking community of like doing chugs of like really shitty Polish beer and stuff. And so I'm partial to stuff like that. I'm not always a poncy beer snob. Well, I am, but you've just got to admit what you are, really, haven't you? I'm sure I keep like seeing comments disappear because I haven't got my phone on me. I can't check the YouTube feed, so if anybody's commented and I'm not reading it, it's not showing on like StreamYard's comments thing here. So I do apologise. Not ignoring anyone, not willfully anyway. And then the last can I've got is another double IPA, and this is To the Edge I Race, 8% ABV with Mosaic Cryo, Simcoe Cryo, and Eldorado. Once again, beautiful artwork from James Yao, or James Yo. I'm not sure how you properly pronounce it. I'm getting Instagram messages from a bot account. So I'm just surrounded by bots, sex bots, who actually don't fulfill any sexual desires. But yeah, so it's only a small order, just that sort of order where I'll get stuff up until the free delivery, and thankfully they do a good free delivery threshold. So why have I done that? It's like I pulled out of my arse. So the next lot of beers is from House of Trembling Madness. Probably for me the best sort of like online beer retailer in the UK. So I thought I'd do myself an order with those because it's been a while. Even though I was like agonising over who I should buy from. I was like, I should buy direct from breweries a bit more, try new breweries like Aspects, but it was a little bit. Their selection wasn't really doing it for me. I know the guy who owns Aspects and Brew is like used to work at Neon Raptor, but there's a really skeptical side of me when a new brewery brings out like an Imperial Stout. And from what Rob was saying, they were all right. So I'm glad I didn't do that order as of yet. Let's see. I hope those are German and Belgian beers, says Paul Greenwood. No, there's not a German or Belgian beer around in this selection. I do apologise. But Good evening to you, sir. First time watching, I'll definitely be staying around. You have a decent little community here, mate. Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate that, even though I accuse you of being a Russian spy. But and if Jimmy's doing a live stream tonight, you may see an appearance from me there as well. Yeah, I've got a good community around me. I've never been one of those people who's like, oh, I need to get my subscribers up. Oh, looking at my stats all the time. But I mean, it's great when you get more subscribers, don't get me wrong. But it's when I do these live streams and people are joining them on a regular basis, or if they're new people, or if the people who are just popping in every now and then. It's just, I don't know, I prefer this sort of stuff. So I'm sort of toned down the actual beer reviews on the channel to like one every 2 days, which I think I need to upload another sort of a collection of videos just to keep the channel going and stuff. Because I prefer this sort of stuff, really. Just sat in front of the camera doing a live stream, people watching it. And I keep burping, so I do apologise. That's sad, but I will still see and stay. Well, Paul, I do appreciate that. I mean, German beer for me, Germany best. For me, Germany are the best brewing country in the world. My favourite beer of all time is the Augustiner Lager Beer Hell. Belgian beers, I don't know, there's flavour notes of like the traditional Belgian styles that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm always trying new ones. I'm always like going to like the classics and stuff. But yeah, German beer. I mean, I've got loads of German beer reviews on the channel. Used to live in Regensburg in Bavaria for 4 years, so I had access to unlimited amounts of great traditional German beer, and yeah, so there's some good German beer. So need to make a nice German beer order, to be honest. But yeah, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for everyone for watching this. It's a bit more pressure that I'm actually having more people come onto the channel, which I do greatly appreciate. So, of course, got myself some Dib Dab, or Double Dip, because they do sometimes throw in sweets with their beer order, because we are man-children, after all, and lady children, let's not be sexist. And just bear with me 1 sec. Yeah? Sorry about that. Some people just have no manners. So yeah, picked up a few beers from House Trembling Madness, and as well as the Cloud Water glass. And I'm probably going to put a couple of these in, or maybe 1 or 2 of the left-hand giant ones in the fridge, because I feel like having a drink tonight. So good. By the way, Paul, if you missed it, I'm currently drinking Woodland Creatures from Left-Handed Giant and Hetucha, which is the lactose, pistachio and honeycomb stout, 6.9%. Got a great body to it for its ABV. It's got the body of like an Imperial Stout, almost. Beautiful stuff. So, what did we get from House of Trembling Madness? First up is a beer that I've been wanting to pick up for a hell of a long time. Or they did another beer with Talus that I think I missed out on. But this is Talus in Wonderland. Beautiful name. From Arbor, which is an American Pale Ale. Featuring new American hop Talus, accompanied by the wonderful Idaho 7 Anasaka. So, gotta love a bit of Arbor, especially the Jamrus-sized can, 568ml. Proper pint. Little Sabroni, beautiful beer. They do great beers, do Arbor. And it's good to see them finally get some sort of like major appreciation. So looking forward to that. I have a Carling from the pump now and then. Not a big fan of tinnies, but we'll have them in. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like the beer reviewing community and like the craft beer sort of community does have, a lot of the times rightly so, does have like sort of a negative reputation for being, oh well, oh, you're drinking that. Well, you shouldn't be really drinking this. You should be drinking this because I'm better than you because I'm drinking this. And it's like, drink what you want. If you like that, you like that. I love getting myself like a pint of Carlsberg. Been drinking over Christmas quite a lot of Budweiser out of the bottle. Bud Light for me, one of my favourite sort of like go-to lagers. Carling, I'd say Carling for me. It has this really sort of like notable metallic taste that I'm not a fan of. But you know, as if I'm gonna turn down someone giving me a Carling. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the one thing that I hate about like the craft beer, especially on Instagram, about craft beer is just the sheer fucking snobbery. And it's like, it's a beer, it's an alcoholic beverage. I'm gonna get interrupted. Yeah, I was worried about getting fucking interrupted by my friend from work. But yeah, hey, it is what it is. Well said. Exactly. It's just who fucking cares what you drink? If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? I might take the piss, have a little joke with friends if they like something I don't like. But there's just too much of that in this. It's like what you drink in your glass does not make you better than anyone else, nor does it make you any worse. And sometimes that viewpoint can come across as condescending. Hopefully that's the last time. But hey, it is what it is. People are pricks. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to people who use an alcoholic beverage as a social statement. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Anyway, moving swiftly on. We've got a beer from Dea and Beak collaboration, and this is Cosmic Control, which is a double IPA, clocking in at 8% ABV. Let's see, full on juice with our good friends from Beak Brewery. Does it specify what hops they've used? I can't see anything. No, it doesn't really specify what hops and yeast and stuff they've used, but two absolute behemoths of the craft beer world. So I'm looking forward to that. Funny thing is, so many live streams end up talking about Carling, Foster's, and Carlsberg. Exactly, exactly. And yeah, I mean, it's like I still go to Weatherspoons. I know that's become a bit of like a social faux pas within the beer community, but you know what? Weatherspoons fry up, Tracky Bracky, come on. And probably one of the best ways you can get a pint of punk. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it is funny how it always comes to that. And at one point, it was like stuff like dragon soup was getting cited. Which, by the way, dragon soup is fucking awful. Uh, Next beer. I know I was going on about how like people use a beer as a social statement, annoy the tits off me. Pick myself up another half can. Yeah, broccoli, double dry hopped, Imperial double IPA, 7.9% ABV. I just really like other half, especially their Imperial IPAs. And when I saw that Trembling Man said this, because I don't think I've ever had broccoli, and I know a lot of people really enjoy broccoli. I mean, I like eating broccoli as well. But yeah, so this is the Ponziest can that I've got. Is it going to be worth the £10 that I paid for it? Who knows? Because UK breweries are brewing beers like this amazingly well. I've made that point countless times, but other half, I'm a massive fan. I really want to try some of their Imperial Stouts. Although a lot of people who I know have said that their Imperial Stouts are really quite weak in comparison. Cheeky can of broccoli, amazing beer, definitely. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah. I don't saw the others, I was like, don't really care. It's other half. But as soon as I saw that it was broccoli, which I know people like, and it's always highly regarded, even though I think like double DDH broccoli or whatever version. But yeah, I'm yet to find another half beer that tops Triple Miler Daydream, because that to me is the best ever triple IPA that I've ever had. And there's been some pretty damn close ones from the UK, don't get me wrong, and other countries are available. But yeah, Triple Miler Daydream, just like, to me, is like one of the. It's probably not even like considered other half's best triple IPA. That's a weird thing, but it was just like, wow. An IPA can taste and feel like this. But yeah, so very much looking forward to drinking me broccoli. And I've nearly finished this already. So next up, we've gone to Verdant, and we're going to the Fresh Hop series. This is number 1, Simcoe West Coast IPA, 6%. I know West Coasts are an absolute bastard to brew properly. I've had many weak West Coast style IPAs from the UK, but I thought with it being Simcoe forward, we'll see what it's like. What's the ABV on that? 6%. So looking at love the whole Daydream series. I've only had Triple Miler, I think. I might actually tell you, I think I've had another one that I might have actually bought off Harry Blue Nose. But yeah. Next up, we've got Annie Moya. Is that how it's pronounced? From Polly's, which is a stout at 6%. Stout Centennial. So I'd imagine it's going to be a bit of like a hoppy stout. Going into that sort of Cascadian Dark Ale territory, Black IPA, who knows? But yeah, I've not had a Polly's for ages, and I don't think I've ever had a Polly's stout. So I thought we'll give it a try. And next up, we've got a can of Fuma Papa Smoky Imperial Stout from St. Mars of the Desert. They released this and then just think like a base version of the same Imperial Stout, but because I like smoked beers, and Paul, if you're still watching, Rauch beers, Schlenkerla Rauch beer, mates, and get in my belly. So I do like smoky beers, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like. Not had anything from St. Mars for absolutely ages. Was lucky enough to visit their sort of like tap room / brewery when I was with Rob from Hop Scene. And it's such a lovely place. Picked myself up a glass, so I've got brand appropriate glassware for this. Woo. Beer ponds coming out again. But yeah, really intrigued by this. Let's see how smoky it is. Just be so abrasive it hurts, please. Next up, we've got sticking with the lagers, the ever reliable Don Zoco, and this is the Super King Smoked Helles Smoked Lager, 4.8% ABV. Fucking love what Reese is doing, and he seems like a great guy as well. And yeah, very excited about this. Super King is a Helles lager brewed with beech smoked malt, a crisp, sweet body with a delicately rich wood smoke character and delicious, excuse me, citrus hoppy finish. A refresher beer for the colder months and beyond. With artwork from Sean.h.edgar on Instagram. So, yeah. What this one, it certainly does, doesn't it? Oh, the previous one looks good as well. But, yeah, love a good smoky lager. Sticking with Don Zoko, we've got their collaboration with Daya, which is a Märzen. So another sort of German style. A bready malty lager brewed with our friends Don Zoko. Daya, obviously known for their haze and juice bombs, can definitely brew a good lager. Brewed in collaboration with one of the best lager breweries. Got the German, I think it's a German spam bot on Instagram is asking me why I'm so quiet. We'll have a bit of fun a bit later on. But anyway, Daya, Don Zoko, Märzen, looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all the beers, or else I wouldn't have bought them. But you know what I mean. Next up, we've got another bit of Beak, which if you live in, well, Skem or Wigan, Beak means something completely different. I have dabbled, that's all I'll say. And this is a Tumbles IPA, 6.5% ABV. So I've got 2 Beaks, which is good. I was going to do an order direct from Beak, but the range was really limited. I mean, obviously it will be because it was just after the new year. But like prices were a little bit. It's like you could get some of their beers a lot cheaper buying from a retailer as opposed to direct. But yeah, I haven't had much Beak. I know Jacob Beer's a massive fan of them. Rob's always got good stuff to say. Craig, Kent Beer Reviews as well. So I thought, you know, I'll get a Beak beer. And that's what I did, and I got 2 of them. A Märzen. I've got the Cloudwater one in the fridge. Nice. I gutted I missed out on that one because Cloudwater, again, brewery known for very specific styles, but man, at one point they were producing like the best sort of lager beers from like within the UK craft scene. I mean, their Hellers, which is always developing, was like one of my just. I remember I actually, because I enjoyed it so much when they were still at the the tap room under the railway arch where it's just long. Remember having like 2/3 of their Hellers at the time, and I was like, loved it so much that I actually bought a growler to get a growler fill of it, and they completely undercharged me for some reason, and it was amazing. And now my Cloudwater growler is like one of those old school American glass growlers. Is now in the garden in the outside bar, which is not covered because the gazebo got destroyed. So I'm gonna have to get that cleaned because I'd like to use that again. Yeah, Piccadilly. That was a lovely, lovely tap room. I mean, obviously where they are now, fantastic space, and then you've got track not too far away. What more could you want, really? So I'm sure me and Rob, oh God, we'll be hitting up Cloudwater as well when we go visit later this month. Clear the old throat. So, not long now, folks. Let's see. So, next up, we've got an Imperial Stout from Cloudwater, funny enough. And this is, I can't remember what the actual sort of series name this is. My continuous improvement. And this is the chocolate orange Imperial Stout. Fucking get in my stomach. Now, with it being Cloudwater, you know that they've splurged on the adjuncts with this. So it's not going to be some really cheap, nasty orange essence that they're going to use in this. It's going to be something a little bit more pricier. And yeah, looking forward to this with open arms and open legs. Really, really am. Lovely stuff. Had some beautiful Imperial Stouts from Cloudwater. Then we've got mentioned the brewery area. Held off from doing an order from them directly, but we've got Bulletproof Cheetah, which is a Azaka, Simcoe, Citra, and Galaxy IPA. 7% from Azvex. They do a really nice Teku glass, which that was the one thing that was really, really tempting me to make an order from them, because I do like a good Teku. Hello, Sam. What are your 3 favourite cities you were roaming around Germany? Funny enough, didn't really visit too many places when I was living in Germany. My favourite was the city that I was living in, Regensburg. It was just like, you know, it's a university city, very historical, quite small, but I don't know, just a beautiful, beautiful place. I've visited Cologne. I was like, it's nice. I mean, I love any city, just fundamentally. So if I say like, about the city, I'll still love the city because I love going to cities. But went to Cologne, that was okay. Well too packed for my liking. But though it's a city, what do you expect? Munich was good. Really enjoyed the times I visited around Munich, and obviously there's Augustina in Munich. God, he's talking about Augustina again. So Regensburg, Munich, and a city that's it's not really sort of like a notable city as such, but they do have probably one of the biggest sort of like art exhibitions, and that would be in Kassel, which is in the Hessen region. I always used to enjoy going there. That's where my partner at the time, that's where family lived. Which, by the way, never used to like her friends. Her friends used to annoy the shit out of me. Family was nice, and the city was beautiful. For some reason, every time I hear the main theme from The Great Silence, Ennio Morricone's theme tune for that, I always think of Kassel in Hessen, but Regensburg. I used to just love walking around at night. I used to love the anonymity of me being, you know, an English guy. Don't really have, aside from the friends who I got to know through my ex. You know, you didn't have to worry about bumping into like a knobhead who you used to go to school with who never gave you the time of day when you're in school, in high school, but are like, oh, I remember you. And for some reason, are really fucking successful, even though they were utter knobheads in school. I'm not bitter, by the way. Yeah, I didn't have to worry about that. Do you know what I mean? Not bumping into any family members who you don't like, or like an annoying work colleague, or anything. I just used to love that. But Regensburg, Munich, and Kassel. And I was hoping, God, to visit Berlin this year, but I don't think that's going to happen because I've got some other stuff planned. I will be going back to Germany because that's a weird thing. Because me and my ex completely, even after 7 years together, which is getting personal, 7 years together, completely cut each other. Well, she cut me out of her life. To cut a long story short, owed her money, even though I wasn't like obliged to. So it ended really bad. It shouldn't have ended as badly as it was, but the way I handled it completely destroyed it. But the ironic thing is, the friends who she introduced me to became really close. She completely cut them off as well. So I've sort of like inherited some really fucking awesome people from that. So I'm always thankful for that. And even though Germany ended in the worst possible way, minus a death, obviously, I'll always be thankful for that because fell in love with the city, just the whole German culture, the food, the beer, the art, the people. I would say language, but my German was and still, well, it's even worse now. But yeah, so I'm going back to Germany in October because one of my friends is getting married and her dad is ridiculously wealthy. So she is having her wedding, I kid you not, at Weltenberger Kloster. So the abbey where the monks brew Weltenberger Assambock. Beautiful location, right on like one of the corners of the river Donau. Is it Donau or Danube? I can't remember. That's terrible that I can't remember that. But yeah, so she's getting married at this beautiful sort of like monastery in the most picturesque part of Bavaria. And they're going to have Weltenberger Kloster Assambock on tap. One of the best doppelbocks in the world. So I'm looking forward to that. And her father's so rich that they're actually paying for my flights. So fucking bring on October. Really bring on October. I need to actually book that off with work, to be honest. But let's see. Sort of went on a whimsical trip down memory lane then. See, that's what happens when you just the mere mention of Germany and it just brings out this sort of like Wainwright-esque with all the campiness of what's his face, that British writer, Alan Bennett. And he sat there in Germany alone. But he wasn't alone because he was surrounded by beautiful... That's a terrible impression of Alan Bennett, but you know what I'm talking about. Davor says good evening. Good evening, Davor. And Goldrake also says good evening. And we've actually got a Russian bot in the chat, not me just accusing someone of being a Russian bot. So thank you, Russian bot, for stopping by. Helps with the algorithm. I'm enjoying a really nicely made pastry Imperial Stout from Hooligans. It's from the Unrivaled series. Marzipan with almonds, pistachio, and cacao nibs. Not artificial. Oh, that sounds amazing. I've got something kind of similar, Dablo. Woodland Creatures. It's a rebrew of the original one from Left Handed Giant and Hettercher. Pistachio and honeycomb stout, 6.9%. It's got all the body and silkiness of like a sort of like a modest imperial stout, but tasting absolutely beautiful. And that imperial stout sounds absolutely beautiful as well. Hope you're doing well, Davor. I haven't spoke to you for a while, so hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year. And anyone watching this, hope you had a lovely Christmas and a New Year, obviously. I can speak German, but not as good as before. That's exactly the same as me, mate. Not that I was amazing at German, but it got me about. I could go shopping on my own. I could, if I needed to go to the pharmacy to pick up some medicine or whatever, I could do it. So I could get about. And the great thing about a country like Germany is, well, obviously it depends on the sort of like generation of person you're talking to. 9 times out of 10, because obviously a lot of Europe, well, I think pretty much every European country will have English as a very important part of their curriculum. If you mess up, a lot of the time, they will happily speak English and probably speak a lot better English than a lot of people who are actually born here, which is weird. But yeah, that's probably the biggest sort of like regret about Germany was I didn't take the language as serious as I should, because I could have easily, uprooted and just moved to Germany I mean, you know, I'm only 32. Could still happen. Move to Berlin. I'd love to fuck it. I'd love to live in the heart of Berlin. How amazing would that be? Be just like a proper pretentious twatty artist. Got no artistic talent. Swap the R with a U. More like it. But yeah. Yeah, mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Aber I don't know what I want to say, really. It's a bloody easy language, so similar to English. I've finished a bottle. Well, you carry on with that bottle of Jameson's. I really struggled learning German because of the whole, like the gender, like die, der, das, and the fact that a lot of the sentences were structured completely differently. Unlike a lot of European languages, well, not a lot of European languages, or a lot of languages in general. Like the way we structure like a certain sentence, sometimes it obviously past tense, present, and stuff. You know, the verb would be before the adjective, and blah 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 blah. And it was just, yeah, I just wasn't clever enough to learn German fluently, to be honest. Thinking of visiting Hamburg this year. I'd love to go to Hamburg as well. I really want to visit the Superfreude guys. Great brewery, and they do great merch as well, which is always a good thing. Plus, I'd love to go on that like Hamburg beer boat cruise sort of thing. But yeah, I'm very happy. Obviously, depending on what situation the world's in October, unless like variant number 457 rears its ugly head, which actually just kills everyone straight away. I'm looking forward to going back to Germany. Plus, my other friend and her husband, they had a kid not too long before the first pandemic, so it's going to be awesome, you know, to meet up with them again and see their child, which is insane to me. Really, really is. So I'm very much looking forward to October. Plus, the girl who's getting married was part of an amateur theatre group whilst at uni. Very attractive friends, who one of which this absolute stunner of like a. See, I'm usually more on the curvy side of things now, but this like proper hipster, like dainty little number who was extremely flirtatious. And my girlfriend at the time, she actually said to me, well, why don't we take her home? Why didn't I? But hey ho, it's one of those things. You know, you want to be loyal, but you get opportunities like that with no repercussions. You don't take them. And now what you're doing, you sat in a fucking house in Skelmersdale. That's what you're doing. But yeah, never had an opportunity like that, folks. Didn't take it. Don't know why. Let's see. Miniature Wonderland. Kann ich ein Bier haben? Ja, natürlich. That was a very simplified. My God, I can't even structure English right now. That was a very simplified response. But of course, you can have a beer. I really want to respond in German, but I don't want to make myself look like a tit. Even though I'm sat here in front of the camera anyway, and make myself look like a tit. And just openly talking about how I could have easily had a threesome, but we won't dwell on it, folks. Save it for the wank bank. Fucking hell. My nose is blocked. I found the best way to learn a new language is through hanging with locals and drunken banter. You'd think you forget a lot, but you lose the awkwardness of incorrect pronunciation. See, that side of things really helped. When, like, the friends who I came to know, they'd find it really funny when I'd like sort of like read a label that had like a blurb on it, because of course there are some words where if you replace one letter or just mispronounce it slightly, it takes on a completely different meaning. And I learned that the hard way with Schwarz and Schwanz. Now, if anybody knows what Schwanz is, that's a tail. And I think you can see where that situation got me. But yeah, yeah, that's very true. Because the great thing is, my experience was, if you were to say something wrong, a lot of the sort of German people wouldn't sort of like pussyfoot around it. They'd be a little bit direct with you, saying, "No, you shouldn't say this, say this." But they do it in like a fun way, and I really enjoyed how direct. God, this German bot girl, it just keeps messaging me. See, at least robots like me. But yeah, I did find that a lot. I got really pressured when my girlfriend at the time was teaching me German, because of course you don't want to fuck it up. Do you know what I mean? You want to like, oh look at me, I know this. But if I'd have approached it a different way, it would have been completely different. But yeah, that's all I saw when I go to Germany, because I just spend all my time drinking. Of course, well, Germany culturally they have a beer for every meal. And saying stuff numerous times, it sticks, definitely does. Just say yeah. Oh god, I worked for us here in Germany 20 years ago. Sadly, at the time, I wasn't in the beer scene. Nowadays, I would enjoy uh, in beer with ease. I was in Munich, Augsburg, and Ingolstadt. I really need to go visit Ingolstadt because that's where Yankee und Kraut are based. Max and oh my god, what's his name? The American guy's name? Oh, that's criminal that I can't remember. I've not spoke to those two for ages. But yeah, Yankee und Kraut, great German craft brewery. Came at just the right time, but we brewed stuff that was like ahead of a lot of stuff, if that makes sense. Max and Brian, there we go. Brian's the American guy. But yeah, nice. Yeah, the ironic thing is, considering I spent 4 years completely in Germany and then 3 years prior coming to and fro between the UK and Germany, didn't really travel to that many places. Aside from like traveling through, you have to get off here at Nuremberg to catch your train to here. Never went to Nuremberg. Never had any authentic Nuremberger sausages. Although if you ever go to Regensburg, there's this really awesome. It's just it's right next to. It's right in the riverbank. Can't remember what street. Quite close to where Beretta, the craft beer shop, used to be. And it's just this little sort of like small building where all they did was Regensburger sausages. And you get it in the bun, you get your sauerkraut. Just so you could say it's a tourist trap, I suppose. But it had been there for years and years, just really simple. And that's all you need sometimes. I mean, just some of the dishes in Germany, just like a plate. Literally, you could sometimes get a plate full of sausages with a side of sauerkraut, and it's just like Simple, effective, tasty food. But yeah, I'd love to go back to Munich. Man, I'd love to go to Bamberg. Give me all the smoke, dear lads. Completely with you on that, Sam. Rauch beer for me, my lead. Smoky. Mark likes smoke beers. Mark really enjoyed St. Abbas's Smokedale, which I had a lot of respect from Mark for that. But yeah, a lot of people have told me I'd be around in Berlin. I think due to the rock bars being art. Yeah, definitely. The whole cultural side of Berlin really appeals to me. I mean, I know multiculturalism has become somewhat of a dirty word for a lot of people. But I love multicultural cities. That's why I love Manchester. I love my time in London. I love Liverpool. Just something interesting, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I think Berlin, I mean, for years has been like a multicultural hotspot. I mean, just look at all the sort of like punk, post-punk stuff. Yeah, Berlin is definitely high on my list, as is Bamberg. But yeah, I would just fucking love to live in Berlin. And considering it's Germany's capital, it's compared to a lot of other cities, a lot of other smaller and less like culturally significant cities, it's really affordable to live there in the grand scheme of things. Fuck, I'd love to be like living and working in Berlin. That would just be. If there's ever a city that screams my name, sounds really wrong. It would be Berlin. It really would. That beer's gone, lads. And I've still got a couple of beers to show in this box before I completely go overly romantic about Germany. And because I'm sat here in the corner, which is a bit dusty, my nose is getting blocked again. So next up, we've got a beer from Northern Monk, one of my favourite breweries in the UK. This is part of their Patrons Project, number 30.02, brewed in collaboration with Lamra Becerra. And this is Talus a la Rioana. Not saying that right at all. And this is a vanilla, chocolate, and cinnamon stout at 8.9% with cocoa, cacao, cinnamon, and vanilla. Let's see. Obviously, it's got the open up label. Lamra Becerra. The Patrons Project set up to champion the best of North Salop from Fell Runners, blah 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 series. This collaboration is Norman Wordsmith. Okay. From growing up in Bradford's Nigerian community to living in downtown LA, we'll see Taste World through his lens. So is that an actual person's name? Do apologise. So, yeah, I think it's a dessert inspired stout. You don't want to see me sat here struggling to read the information. You can watch my review for that. But that's, to me, this is probably my favourite sort of Patrons Project stuff that Northern Monk do. Is their collaborations with that based on food or brewed in collaboration with restaurants, or beers brewed for restaurants, or beers based on like delicacies and stuff like that. That whole sort of like marriage of food and beer. No, I've not got like Parkinson's. Food and beer just appeals to me greatly. So yeah, I thought I'd pick this one up. So looking forward to that. And then last, but by no means least, in this selection from House of Trembling Madness, just make sure I've not left any out. Nope. We've got another Cloudwater, and this comes on the recommendation of Rob from Hop Scene. And this is Facade on Soap Street, which is a double dry hop IPA. Celebrate Mosaic's curious complexity. Hang on a minute. Wasn't one of these left-handed giant beers a Mosaic beer? So I've got a feeling we might have a bit of a face-off on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. If I can find the can, and if I can stop sniffing. Now, this is a double IPA versus an IPA, just double dry IPA. Maybe that could be an interesting sort of video, actually, or live stream. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save these for another live stream over the next week or so. Comparing a single hop Mosaic IPA with a single hop Mosaic double IPA from two breweries who have actually collaborated before by taking the same beer and having their own little twist on it. Yeah, poetic. It's poetic. It's postmodern. It's don't include another term like that when you talk about beer. Don't call beer poetry. Don't call it postmodern. It's alcohol. It's water, barley, yeast, and hops, and maybe the odd adjunct here and there. But yeah, I think I might do that, or I might just do two left-handed giant double IPAs against each other. Either way, there's going to be a live stream over the next week or so involving two of these beers. Let's just leave it at that. God, I'm getting bunged up here, man. Jesus. Yes, lad, says Will. Will, I'm not seeing you for a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year. And hope 2022 started off okay for you. God, it's been a long time since you've been in a stream. Fucking hell, my nose. Need a bit of sniff to clear it. Fucking hell. So yeah, that's you've just come at the right time, obviously, Will. That's the unboxing from Left-Handed Giant and House of Trembling Madness. Thought I'd throw up a live stream because I've not done a proper live stream for a while. Might do a COVID test. Just feel like it. Yeah. So if anyone's got anything to say about any of these beers, let me know in the comments. I got COVID on my 20th birthday and got negative test today. Felt like shit. I've yet to catch it. In the 2 years that we've known about it, I've yet to catch it. So I think I'm just superhuman. You know, just 1 in a million, me. No, I'm not. But I just think I've been very lucky that my body's fought it. I've probably had it loads, but never felt it. I think everyone's had it loads, do you know what I mean? It's the worst thing ever, mate. Oh, God, did you get it bad? So you must have still got something like the Delta variant then, because a lot of people who I know who have had the Omicron version have said it was just like a cold. But a lot of people will say that, won't they? But mate, well, I wish you a speedy recovery. Glad to see you had a negative test. That's always good. But yeah. Oh God, phlegm's coming up now. Am I just dying on camera? Will I just like slowly keel over? It'll get me loads of views, won't it? I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. I'm not going to willfully get COVID so I can die on camera. Although I'm sure there are a few people out there who would happily wish that upon me. But do you know what? Fuck you. I don't think there's anyone who actually wishes death on me because I'm just so nice. I'm just a really nice guy. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to cut this off now. I thought it was me and then I caught it. You sound like our Rob. I'm unvaccinated, not had anything in my body, so I think it just quickly. Well, do you know what? Fair dues to you for not having the vaccines. See, I've not known. I don't know too many people. I know people who haven't had any vaccine, and that's you're not going to get any criticisms from me. There's a big part of me that just wishes that I hadn't had mine. I'm not getting my booster. I just at this point, I don't feel the need to have it. Family members aren't like, oh, please get it, please get it. So there's no sort of like unneeded stress or anything like that, or tension or pressure to get it. Plus, I personally think, with no scientific information to back this up, I don't think with this strain that we have now, whether the booster would have made a blind bit of difference. But I don't want to be seen here to be spreading misinformation, because I know people get upset with that. Why don't you just ignore it instead of get angry about it? If people choose to listen to one source, let them listen to it. They're not causing any harm. That's one thing that does piss me off with this whole thing. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that because people will start thinking, well, if they're going to start thinking that, they're going to start thinking that anyway. Do you know what I mean? This whole misinformation bullshit, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's my mini rant over. I don't want to get me channel demonetized. I'm not monetized in the first place, but you know what I mean. It doesn't work. Your body still carries it after the jab. So what's the point? Exactly. You spread it just as much. It's just you might not feel it as much, but you're still as potent. I don't know. It's one of those things. I get it if people are scared and they want the vaccines. I mean, I can't talk. I've had both, but I was doing it because, you know, I had a family member living with me who's very vulnerable. So I was like, the last thing I want is on my conscience for me to bring in something that's gonna, you know, be a detriment to someone's health. But then I'm thinking, like, you've probably inadvertently killed hundreds of people when you've been out. That power. But so that was the only reason why I got my vaccines, was because my grandma lives just over the road, and I was, you know, during the first lockdown, I'd be going out to shops, doing a shopping, and dropping it off, and that sort of stuff. But aside from that, if the circumstances were different, I'd be like, no, because it's a weird thing, isn't it? It sort of works both ways. People getting their vaccines for their, like, they want their freedoms. But the people who at the time don't get the vaccines will still have that same sort of freedom, and, you know, vice versa. And then it's like one of those sort of mentalities of, well, you might as well. But it's like one of those things, no matter what your choice is, you don't have to defend it. You don't have to back it up. You can just flat out say you don't want it or you want it. The worst thing that pissed me off, and this is on both sides of the debate, is when people like kick off at each other over it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you absolutely fucking joking right now? Like, people like fought, like close friendships, families pulled apart because X wants to have it, X has had it, X doesn't want it, X has got an opinion that doesn't sit well with XX. It's like, get a fucking, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Get a fucking grip. That's what I wanted to say. Let's say. Doesn't work, buddy. Yeah, I'll let you go, mate. Have a nice night. You too, man. And I hope you start feeling better soon. And we're going to live with it for years, so might as well just start living with it now. Well, that's the thing. last thing I'm going to say before I go. Whenever I talk about COVID, the last thing I ever want to do is sort of like downplay any death. I don't want to trivialize anyone who's lost a loved one because of this. But so I just want to put that out there first and foremost, right? And this might be a bit of a, if it's still a bit raw, if you have lost someone, I do apologise. I can't even imagine. I mean, when a family member died, they didn't die because of COVID, but because of the restrictions in place, we never actually got say goodbye or visit them. And it was actually when they did die, in a weird way, it was a relief. Not for me, not for family members, but for that person. Because I can't think of anything worse than being stuck in a hospital and having people visit you all the time is awful, because hospitals are awful places to be. You can decorate them, you can put art on the wall, you can try and make them as happy as possible. Nobody wants to be in a hospital. It is the worst place anyone can be, right? But to be in a hospital when you can't have your loved ones visit you and spend time with you, I can't imagine. It's bad enough for the people who can't go visit the loved ones, but to be that person alone in an environment like a hospital, not taking anything away from anybody who works in hospitals. I've got family members who work in the NHS. I've got my own thoughts and opinions on the NHS. Biggest one is it's been treated like a business for years. Why not fully privatise it? Let's get some, investment in there. Even though that completely goes against what the NHS is and what it should have been and what it should be, the way it's been treated, you might as well get all of these private companies investing money into it at this point. So I'll never criticise unless they've done something wrong, obviously. Anybody who works for the NHS, I think the NHS is run terribly. I think there are too many managers, board members, too many private contracts, mates rates, like the fact that it costs hundreds just to transfer a patient from one part of the hospital to the other because of these like companies who hire the porters, and like the fact that like hospital lunches and dinners and stuff costs hundreds for like sandwiches and stuff like that. I'm not talking like literally £100 a sandwich. I'm talking about like the wholesale cost. I mean, hospitals used to have canteens, used to have food prepared on site. Now it's just all these private, contracts, like a mate of a board member. I know that's sort of like a very one-dimensional way to look at it, but those things happen. The construction in hospitals, a lot of the time, it's not local builders doing it. It's some private company from the other end of the country or even another part of the world. So it's like, with this mentality of upper management in hospitals, why don't we just go fully fucking privatized? Let's treat it like a business, because nobody wants a failing business. Do you know what I mean? It'll probably backfire on us completely as people who need to use this service. But anyway, I've gone on a massive tangent. Will, what have you done? What have you caused? But no, yeah, like I was saying, back to the serious point. I couldn't think of anything worse than spending my final days in a hospital when I can't see the people who I love. I can't say goodbye to the people I love. I can't tell the people who I don't like to fuck off before I snuff it. Do you know what I mean? But what was this whole point about? Like COVID? Yeah, COVID. Anyway, I best shut my mouth, because as I said, the last thing I want to do is to offend anyone who has lost someone during COVID. I'm not going to downplay it. I'm not going to trivialize it. It's a terrible thing. If you get it and you suffer badly. We've seen the ICU wards. You can say, oh well, they're not as bad as they say they are. You can have those arguments. You've got every right to do so. A lot of it's based on evidence. A lot of it is just based on bullshit. It's really hard to know what is true and what's not nowadays. What I will say is, don't watch the mainstream news. Just does your head in. It's done your head in. Before COVID was a thing. Do your own research. If you've got different views to me, fair dues. I'm not gonna, tell you to fuck off because you say something that I don't agree with. And I'd like to think a lot of people would be like that with me. And if we can't talk about it, if you can't discuss it, then do you know what? I look a lot slimmer as well. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, genuinely, anyone who's lost anyone to this awful, awful virus, then my heart goes out to you. Very lucky that we've not lost anyone to it. But those we have lost, unfortunately, we've not been able to have those final goodbyes, which is, awful in itself. And Christmas was a bit weird this year. Seeing in the new year, we didn't really do what we usually do, staying up watching Jules Holland, just having a few drinks. I mean, I spent it in good company with Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, and then I went on to Jimmy O's channel and I was talking to Steve for a bit. So I still had a somewhat nice Christmas and New Year. But yeah, my main point that I wanted to say is, if there was ever a time for you to get COVID, now I'm not saying go out your way to get it. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. No. But with this strain that we have right now, the Omicron, yeah, it's pungent. It's spreading like wildfire. But compared to what we've had up to this point, in a lot of people, I'm not saying in everybody, in a lot of people, very, very, very minor symptoms. So that's all I wanted to say, really. Ending on a high note. But yeah, thank you for watching my beer unboxing and me stood on my soapbox. Maybe I am a bit like Boris Johnson. I look like him, so, well, I don't want to act like him because he's a fucking prick. But yeah. So, Left-Handed Giant, great brewery. House Trembling Madness, great beer bottle shop. Sorry, it was ordering a Mackey's. Oh, now I want a Mackey's. You've not missed much. You've not missed much, Will. I'm going to say great stream, Peter. Oh, cheers, man. And yeah, if Jimmy O is doing a live stream tonight, I will pop on for a little bit. So I might see you there, Mongo. And did I say Mongo first? I do, but there's a YouTuber whose nickname is Mongo, and I've been watching a lot of videos about this. So as soon as I see Mongo, I see Mongo. So that's two people from brought over from Jimmy O's channel who I might have offended, but hey, it is what it is. That's what the stream's all about. See you later, fella. See you later, and see you too, Mongo. And thank you everyone for watching this. Thank you for everyone who's stuck around to watch this live, as well as those who are watching the playback. And yeah, I'm going to be reviewing quite a lot of these over the next few weeks, so look out for those. And I'm going to enjoy my double dip now. Well, I'm not. I'm going to go have a cigarette, to be honest. Bertie Hallen. Is that a Russian bot? I don't know. Exactly. That's a great way of seeing it. Anyway, cheers for watching, folks. You all take care. Stay safe. And if you're around, go check out the Wigan Joker Jimmy O YouTube tonight. Might be doing a live stream, and you'll probably see me there. Cheers for watching. Take care. Stay safe. And until next live stream, bye-bye now. Oh, double dip anyway. There we go. Ended on a high.